Hey guys, my name's Dave Voss and here's a tutorial on how to play back tracks you might have made in another DAW such as Logic, Pro or Studio One, Pro Tools, something else, and you'd like to chop them into clips, play them in, make use of Ableton Session View to play them back. So here's some stems that I've imported from Logic Pro. I used their synths to make these sounds. As you can see, there's different sections to the song, which is quite important to keep in mind when you're switching your track to Ableton, as some melodic parts will need to be played together. Percussive elements can usually be played anywhere, whenever you want to launch them, but the melodic sections, such as verses and choruses, need to be played together. So the first thing you want to do is, once you've imported them all in, labeled your tracks up here, is decide how long you're going to have for your clips, how long you want them to play. So I tended to go for about 8 bars in my piece. So what I would do is set my loop area here over 8 bars like this, and then if you use the command function, the key command Control E, it will slice your track and give you this section of just 8 bars, just like a MIDI clip or a clip of audio. Now the first few here, you'll see I've got nothing showing in those 8 bars. If you're going to play a traditional song back, and this is more in a linear fashion into the clip view, it's important to still chop the sections with no sound in, and I'll show you why in a moment. Just because of playback, when you come into the session view, it can be a bit tricky. So I've chopped those, and you notice it's chopped all of these all the way down in that section. What we can do is then move this along, just click and drag, line it up, and then Command E, and we'll do the same thing again. So Command E, Command E, Command E, and Command E, Command E. Until we've done it for our entire song. A bit further to go then. Don't worry if there's sections that are finished or sections that only have part of the waveform covered in the first bar or two. That doesn't matter, because you want to keep the structure of your song intact if you're performing it back in this way. So once we've done all of that, the next thing to do is select all of the parts we just have. Here we go. So do a Command A for that. There we go. Now we've got all the parts. The next thing to do is you click the first one here and drag this and hover over the session view clip. It gives us this little, takes us to the session view with all our tracks lined up, and then we can drop this on here, and you see it's already given us the clips laid out. If I let go now, on they drop onto our session view ready for playback. I'm just going to close the browser for a second. And then it's laid out our track for us. So what we can do here is we can play back certain sections, play it back in time, so bring this part in, this keyboard part for example, if we want to have that, and then this keyboard part, to bring in some drums. Okay, so we can launch various things across our session then. The main problem I found with this at first was that if you don't stick to your original arrangement, sometimes you can drop in a melodic part, such as keys, glockenspiel, something else. And if you're not sticking to these scenes going across here from left to right, then you can have a clash of chords and notes, and it doesn't sound right. And it only really works for percussive elements. So that can be a bit of an issue, so it's quite good to keep your sections and scenes here. And then what you can do is, down the right hand side here, is we can then label these scenes. So if you right click, click rename, and then we can call that intro, and this part a rename like verse 1, and so on all the way down. We can colour these as well, give them a little colour just to make it look nice. And then you know where you are in your piece, which is quite important. So before I said doesn't matter if there's a section where there's nothing playing in that clip, because if we go to one of these, let me just stop it and find an empty clip that's got nothing in. So this drum loop is playing silence, there's nothing in there. If we click in it, we can see at the bottom here it's just empty. The drums don't come in until the second set of 8 bars. Now, when I first arranged a piece of this, I deleted all of those clips that had nothing in. I spent ages going through deleting them all. And then what would happen was Ableton would play this row of things where there is actually some audio happening, and then it wouldn't play my drum part here that comes in here along with the other things that happen here for playback. So it would get out of sync with the scenes going across here. So what workaround for this a lot of Ableton users tend to do is they leave these in as what's called dummy clips, and you can colour these differently. So we could give that a different colour, and we'll know that there's no actual audio in that clip, which means when we come to be playing on our Launchpad, playing it live, and we want to just drop in some drums really quick, we know that hitting this play button, hitting this part on our Launchpad will give us no sound and look a bit foolish if you're trying to hit that in the middle of a performance. So if we colour it, it's a little bit of a guide to us that there's no sound in that part. If you notice later down here, there's another section that does have a little bit at the end of it. So again, we might want to colour that the same to show that it's not going to do anything too amazing. If we click that clip on the go, it's just going to have a lot of silence until that plays in. But it helps us, so we know that this one where there is, this one where there is a loop going on, we can make sure that we can drop that, and we know it's going to impact immediately, it's going to come in immediately. So it's quite important to sort of stick to your original arrangement whilst playing back. I mean, there are some different behaviours we can put in clips. So if we go down here and we open this up, you can change the nature of the playback of that clip. So here, we can do. So what we can do is, let's just go through here and see what's going on with this. So the other thing that you might need to do is go to your different clips and make sure they're just still in the same tempo as the original piece. If not, you'll need to warp those, so that might be quite important. Okay, I hope this helps, and good luck with playing your tracks back. Stay tuned for more videos. Cheers.